It's a time for Sega from 1986. Enjoy. Thank you. Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. In today's video we are going to take a close look at the Sega Master System, their power base. As a child, when it comes to the 8-bit series, I was growing up with the NES, or also known as the Famicom. And can tell you, later on I was introduced by the Sega Genesis or Mega Drive. That was my first experience and also where my wicked heart started for the Sega franchise. But in today's video we are going to be chit-chatting about the Master System model number 1. One of the systems I personally really like. But is it a system that I actually missed out on? That is of course one of those questions that we're going to be answering today. The cartridge-based system of Sega wasn't a very interesting one, particularly when it comes to the Master System and the first one. Yep, and there is another thing I found even more interesting when it comes to the power base model. But it also comes even with the option for a second input. Yep, another card that you can actually use on here. However, the Master System isn't a very interesting piece of equipment. But let's do a chit chat about the controller, the games, and is it really worth buying nowadays? The cartridges itself, they are okay to find. What's kind of funny that my neighbor country, Belgium, we can find so much more games. A lot of games were also ported to the Genesis, for example the Lion King, the World Grand Prix, and many of the racing games, and of course Sonic the Hedgehog. And the Sonic the Hedgehog on the Master System is so much different, and over here having even Super Tennis. But I also had the possibility to find a couple of them complete in box, and that's absolutely awesome because these things have the same plastic cases like the Genesis, so much more convenient. And yeah, finding them is just quite difficult when it comes to my country over here. However, in the neighbor countries do have this option to find a couple of them complete in box, and there was a fellow collector in the marketplace had like 4 of them. So when it comes to this, yeah, the same kind of cartridges. But what I find quite interesting is when you're looking at the colors over here, you can just see we're having 2 versions. And oh man, I really hate it when they're doing that. Like we're having all kinds of, let's say, nice white labels, then out of nothing you're just slapping a completely different label like the Mortal Kombat game. So let's see if there's any manuals in one of these things. That is not a problem. I have a couple of them without the manuals. Let's see, is it in here? Yep. So the manuals, man, we don't have those anymore. The only ones is the toilet paper manuals from China, of course. But let's see, we're having some basic explanations, but there's nothing much to see over here. So, yep, manuals. Man, oh man, oh man. I think having a complete one is going to be the biggest challenge over here. But there was another one I have noticed, and that is this very slim version. And this very slim version, they can only be used on the first edition of the Sega Master System. So this is called Transboard, and I can tell you that this is a very interesting situation. So there was no manual again, but however these were these very nice cards, and they're very thin, very slim. So I also shown you this with the, I think it was the turbo, the PC Engine, and one of those. Let's say have similar cards, but it's quite interesting to see the technology. Think about it, that this is around like 1986 or something like that, that we're already having these very slim cartridges compared with these clunky ones over there. So one of those very cool things, an innovation of the Sega company, making a lot of cool things. So yeah, we can enter the games on top, but we can also slide them in at the bottom. At the front we will find over here the on and off switch, 2 controller ports, and at the back we're finding an AV out, an RF out, and the input for the AC adapter. Regarding the controllers, at this point I have 2 controllers in the collection. This is the traditional gamepad that we're getting. So, and when it comes to the design of the D-pad, it's quite interesting, having some extra grip, and the touch itself, it does feel quite sturdy. So what I find also even more interesting is the 1 and 2 buttons, because they have this very satisfying long travel click. Don't know if the long travel is going to be convenient. And then over here we're having here the control stick, or the arcade stick I love to call it, where we don't have a control unit at the left, or at least the D-pad, but we're having this massive stick at the right. So it's interesting configuration. Also when it comes to the, I would almost say the A and B button, but it's actually the 1 and 2. But this is completely different, having a very short travel. So it's quite interesting to see how both of them will play. Oh, but let's take a close look at what happens if you're going to be booting them up, because I can remember there are some of these things had actually in game built in. But I'm guessing mine doesn't have a built-in game because they're not stating anything regarding this. Also, if you're going to be resetting it, nothing seems to be working. And that's another feature of the Master System I find so strange, having a reset and a pause button on top of the console. But let's start off with some Sonic the Hedgehog. And going back to this, oh man, it's such a weird, different experience. And this is simply to do because I grew up with the Sega Genesis. Oh, we do have like Invincible and Super Speed. Oh yeah. The game will sound a little bit slower for some people, and that's to do because I live in the PAL region and most of the systems I found are PAL. Yeah. Nothing to do about that. Woo! There we go. Oh, Grand Prix. This is going to be good. This is going to be good. Those sound effects. Doing a burnout over there. Okay, so the second button doesn't do anything. Let's see if we can get an acceleration going on. We have 2 speeds. Go to the high. Oh yeah. So what's kind of strange that we do have this very long travel button. Oh, the old school games. I can still remember there were so many similar games for other systems. But when it comes to racing games, I personally never got like really into racing when it comes to these games. Oh, there we go. You still have the low speed. They were fun for some time, but I think for me it started all with stunts for DOS. That was such a cool game where you can create all your track and do some wicked stuff. That was the start of 3-dimensional racing games. That was kind of cool. You can drive in a Ferrari and all kinds of cool stuff. Scramble Spirits. At first seeing the game I had no idea what I can expect, but let's get into the game and let's see if it's going to be any good. What kind of game is it? A flying game, but is it more like a shmup or is it going to be something of a straightforward shooter game? Okay. I think we can play this together with friends. Ah, we do have like a shmup. I love it. Oh yeah. Second button doesn't do anything. We have power-ups. Oh yeah, we do have power-ups. So when it comes to visual-wise, I must say I'm quite surprised by the quality of the Master System. If you're going to be looking at the NES, I think when I had like a Master System back in the day and games like these. Okay, wait. What happened? Okay, I died. I think I really enjoyed myself even more. And maybe my gaming fanatic days were starting way earlier when having games like these. Mortal Kombat went on a Master System. Oh boy. Oh, this is going to be really bad. Let's choose Raiden. We can choose a difficulty here. Okay, let's go easy mode. Otherwise I'm going to get my ass whooped. Oh, you know, if you're going to be playing the arcade or the Mega Drive versions, you can't go back. These were the things that I've never missed out. That sound effect. We can fly actually. That's kind of cool. Can we shoot? Can I teleport? Oh man. No, somehow I can only jump. No, I can't do the teleporting thing. Oh, this is really bad. But let's try the other part of the Master System, and that's actually the very cool car. So having Transboard over here, let's slide it in and let's see if it's going to be booting up. I have no idea if these things are any good or if they are good enough to survive all of those years, because they are quite old at the moment as making this video. Transboard seems to be booting up. Okay, nice. Oh yeah, I can remember this game. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, absolutely. I can remember this. Okay, so what we need to do is pause the game, because we're going to be full arcade mode now. Let's wiggle out the controller. Let's go full arcade! And let's plug in this thing. I just wanted to see if this is going to be any fun. Okay, that was easy. Alright, let's slide this thing over. And go! That's such a weird thing. Doing it, actually using my right hand now. Woo! This is a lot of fun, but a little bit more difficult, because I'm using my right hand for actually moving the character itself. Is it not a power-up of some kind? Yes! Oh! That was what I'm going to be doing. You can transform. That's the transform bot. And I'm dead. But what if I'm going to be telling you that I had another card? Yep, I found one a very long time ago. I bought it on the Belgium convention and I was very pleased to finally find another one. So let's put in hang on. I have no idea, I didn't test it before. So let's see if they scammed me on the convention or does it actually work. Look at the boot sequence. Okay, so that is not a good thing. That we're going to be having the message and nothing seems to be working. The only thing we can actually do is clean this up over here and hoping that is going to be fixing the issue. But yep, I've been cleaning the cartridge a couple of times now, but unfortunate. It's a software error, meaning that I got scammed. Yep, because he sold me a broken game. Collecting games can be fun. But now we can also get ourselves a cheap flashcard from AliExpress. Yep, another way to play. And these things are very cheap and they're like very easy to find. The question remains, is it going to be any fun? I'm going to be plugging in an SD card and let's see how fast the loading times are. But with this, we can actually play everything now. Powered on, and here we're finding all kinds of different folders. The Brazil, Europe, Japan, and even the US, Europe. So it does have some to make it safe, seems to be having the save folder. But let's get into the European part and let's check out the game. What can we actually all find on here? So there's so much actually cool stuff that we can just play. But a game like Desert Strike, would that be fun? Let's check it out. Here we can find the load only, hex, and we can load and start. This is what we're going to be doing. Let's boot it up and let's see. Okay, is it erasing already something? Because there seems to be something already preloaded on the chip. It's running. Depends also a little bit on how long it would take with the combination of the game size. But these things are using old technology. That's clear because it takes quite a long time. While we're having more expensive flash cards, they will like instantly load your games. But now we need to wait a little bit longer than normal. So we choose a language over here. And now we can actually play the game. That sound. I have never heard a soundtrack on the MasterSystem. And it sounds kind of cool. I do wonder like how it comes when it comes to playing the game. Is it going to be any good? And how did they configure it? Because normally we're having the same kind of view. Indeed, only it looks of course way more cooler and more detailed. Oh, D-pad on this is absolutely horrible. Yep, we can pick up the stuff. The stages seem to be looking the same. Ah. Oh, there's rocket. Eat rocket. What? I shoot a rocket at the guy, but he doesn't die. What the heck is going on here? Ah! Is that guy in Terminator or what? What the hell? The Sega MasterSystem. I never owned it and I'm glad I'm having one now. This is such a fun device with a lot of cool games and a combination with the special reader, and I had a lot of fun when it comes to the games of Transboard. However, you need to be careful when you're going to be looking into those games because it seems to be that some of them will not work anymore. So that's one thing you need to be very careful, especially when you're going to be buying on conventions, secondhand. You just need to check it out before you're going to be buying. However, it's a lot of fun to collect for or just grab a flash card like I did. You have so many ways to play. Thank you all for watching. Let me know in the comments what is your experience with MasterSystem, or did you never own one. It would be great to subscribe to the channel and hit the little bell, because that means I will see you in the next time, in the next video. We're wicked more.